Okay, yep, you should be able to.
Once you hit it though, there was a thing that said webinar is now being recorded. So maybe Tim is.
I think he is. I was wrong.
Do you want me to still do it though?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
Use my work, right?
Yeah, use your work one. Linda and John, are you able to see the participant number at the bottom? It should be 3 right now.
Oh, it's 31.
Oh, okay.
Bottom, yes, 31.
All right, so we've got people coming on in. All right, good evening, everybody. We're just going to give it a couple minutes to get started here. Let everybody get into our Zoom room. We'll get started in just a minute here, just waiting for everybody else to be able to get into the Zoom room. Give it about half a minute, and then we will get rolling. Ms. Kramer, do we still have a slow trickle in here? Does it look like our number has stopped?
No, it's still going.
Still getting a few people coming in.
All right, perfect.
I think we could probably go ahead and get started.
All right, great. Well, thank you everyone for jumping on tonight. My name is Sarah Smith. I'm the Associate Principal for Curriculum and Instruction here at Andrew. I am here this evening with Ms. Linda Kramer and Mr. John Tadla, guidance counselors extraordinaire, that's for sure, and also our AP coordinators. So purpose of tonight is really just to provide you with some information on the process for registration and payment related to all things advanced placement exams. We really want to make sure that our families are feeling comfortable and ready to roll. So max runtime on this will be about 30 minutes, but it may even be shorter than that. Feel free to put any questions that you may have in the chat, and we can either answer them, individually through the chat, or we'll pose the questions aloud. All right, I think we're ready to get started. So I'm going to hand it over to Ms. Kramer and Mr. Tadler.
All right, so if we go to the next slide. All right, good evening, everybody. Like Smith said, we're going to just go over a couple points for basically about registration and fee payment. So these are going to be our points of discussion for tonight, and we're going to take each of these bullet points, and Ms. Kramer and I will handle each of these topics separately. So we're going to hit three things tonight. First is the timeline for the AP testing process, all right? Because it really goes, it started already at the beginning of school, and it's going to take us already to the end of school, and there's a lot in between that has to be done to make sure that everything is run accordingly. College Board process. College Board sets the tone and sets the rules for most of the stuff we are going to talk about tonight. These are not Andrew specifics. These are things that are set by the College Board, who are in charge of the AP testing process. So we're going to go through some processes that they have set down that we have to, as AP coordinators, follow. And then the third point, we're going to talk about total registration. And total registration is an online tool that we use for all fee payment for the advanced placement tests. And we're going to go through there. So there's three different things we're going to talk about: the timeline, the process of College Board, and the process for total registration. And Mrs. Kramer and I are going to flip back and forth. So now I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Kramer. We're going to talk about the first steps here about joining the AP class.
So, hi everyone, thanks for joining us tonight. So the registration for an AP exam is really a two-step process. So the first step is that students all must have an account in College Board. This is going to be their account for all 4 years. And so you really need to make sure that the students remember what their login information is. It's going to be the same password that they use for all 4 years. They're going to use this College Board account in their AP classes because they need to have access to AP Classroom. And then also this is where they're going to use their join codes to join the class. Now, I do want to say that we do not have access to student accounts. So if your student doesn't remember their access on how to get onto their College Board account, they really need to call College Board directly. All of the AP teachers have the phone number that students will use to call College Board. And I will say that you do have to be very, very patient. You can be on hold for some time. So doing it, after school hours is probably the best. But that is the only way that the students will be able to get their login for their College Board account. College Board does not recommend that they open up a new account or they create a new account. That makes things always very messy. Try and connect those AP scores then to the right person. So if they have a College Board account and they don't remember, they really need to call College Board directly. So students will receive, and I'll say most students have probably already done this step, but they will receive their join codes from their AP teachers. This is done in class. AP teachers typically have the students go through the joining process at the same time in class. And so this is usually kind of a class activity. And all students must join the class. This is the only way that we can order an exam for them. So when they join the class, they will have a section where it will say order exam. And right now it's going to say undecided because we don't switch them over to yes until payment is received in total registration. So the students join the class. This way, then we can say, yes, we want to order an exam for this student. So right now, all students are declared as undecided. since we haven't started the payment process, which will start tomorrow, I believe. But once they make their payment in total registration, then we will be switching those students over to yes order exam, but they have to have joined the class to even be in that screen as part of the College Board process. We really need to have this step, the joining of the class and the payment, by November 1st. It takes us a while to match up, make sure everybody's in there that needs to be in there, everybody's made their payment or made arrangements for payment. And so November 1st, just kind of keep that date in your mind that we need to have the student joined in the class and the total registration payment through, or the payment through total registration November 1st. I'll turn it over to John for that whole process.
Yeah, so like Ms. Kramer said, this is a two-step process. And unfortunately, the system we use for College Board and the system we're talking about for total registration, they're two completely separate systems and they don't talk to each other. So it's a little bit of a laborious process because we're dealing with College Board for the joining of the classes, and then we're dealing with a system that we use internally, total registration for payment. And the two systems don't talk. So Ms. Kramer, like she said, if you do both of these steps, the joining of the class and the payment, that guarantees you us of the ordering of the test. If you skip one of these processes, then there's going to be a disconnect, and we're going to figure out that you joined but maybe didn't pay, or you paid and didn't join. So the first process, the payment or the joining class, is on the student. The other process, this payment step, is going to be on the parents because it's all an online system. So let me walk through how we use total registration. As I said earlier, total registration is the payment website for all our AP tests. Okay, and it's a system that is set up and it is quite detailed. And once you get into it, you'll see what I am talking about. It is very detailed and it gives you all the information you need to do to pay for each individual test. Okay, so this system is used if you're taking one test, if you're taking 4 tests, if you're taking 5 tests, you will pay through the system for each individual test to total registration. The total registration information, this is important, will be sent via the Skyward Message Center. So I know we send out a lot of information and I know we send out a lot of emails, but for the AP folks, it's very important that you are looking for this access and this Skyward message. We send them out a lot, and I'll go back to once you make your decision, but you really have to be looking because this is where we're going to send the links and the information to access the total registration site. Once you have that information, you have that link and you click on it, it is really, the total registration process is very simple and it walks you through step by step. But if you miss the email and don't see the email, you're never going to get to the total registration. And then we're going to be saying, where is the payment? So I know you get a lot of emails, but you really need to be cognizant, especially in this October window from October 1st to November 10th, to be looking for the total registration Skyward email, all right? Because that's where you're going to get the information. As stated, this information will be sent to student and parent emails, okay? So we have a processing list of all the students that are taking first semester exams and second semester exams, and when we send this information out, it goes to this group exclusively. It's not a mass email to all 2,200 students. It's for this particular group of students who are participating in our advanced placement program. All right. You have to check the emails. Okay. Again, I have to stress, we've been doing this a couple of years, and the bugaboos we get and a lot of the comments we get from parents is, where is this? And it's really in this website. You can't call us. We can't make payment. It is all done. So you really need to check the emails. And as it says, we're going to open the window starting tomorrow, and it's going to go to November 10th. So it's a short window for first semester and year-long classes to make the payment, because as Mrs. Kramer is going to talk about, there's a process for us to order tests. So you must make the payment for each individual test in this window from October 1st to November 10th. Okay, because then we're going to shut the system down before we place the test, and it will not open again. All right, after we order the test, and Mrs. Kramer will talk about it. Test fees have gone up $1 this year. It is $96 fee per test. Okay, so that is, there's a couple changes from in the past. These next two bullet points is $1 increase, and unlike last year, College Board, not District 230 or Andrew High School, will assess a late fee for any payments made after November 10th. So if you don't make the payment and you said, hey, we forgot, there's going to be a $96 fee, and then there's going to be a $40 late fee that College Board requires us to make, because again, like I said earlier, we're under College Board restrictions. 99% of the stuff that we do is mandated by College Board across the country. All right. And once you're in the system, payment can be made with a credit card. It's very simple, and we see the payments and we get all the records, and anything that goes through here, payments, any kind of cancellations, that all goes through the system. All right. So I want to reiterate, just we need to check the email. Okay. This whole process is online. So the email leads you to our online link. Like the College Board, your password will stay with you for 4 years, but I think total registration has a little more flexibility. If you forget the password, you can link to them and they'll send you a link to get a new password, just like you have at Yahoo and some of the other accounts. But it'd be nice if you keep these passwords in an area, I mean, not under your pillow or something, but someplace safe that you can have for 4 years, because especially on the College Board, when the password goes awry and you have to be on the phone with them for 2 hours, it's quite agonizing maybe, okay? So keep the passwords secure so you can have it. And payment will be made, can be made with a credit card. It is very, very simple once you get into the portal, all right? So here's Mrs. Kramer now with the AP test ordering information.
Right, so thanks, Jen. At this time, we're just going to be ordering the full year classes, so both semesters and first semester only classes. So year-long classes and first semester only tests. We'll be ordering them on November 15th. So that's why we need to make sure that everybody has done their payment or made arrangements for payment by November 10th. Second semester classes, so students who are in macroeconomics, microeconomics, and government for second semester, the payment and registration will start second semester. So students will be joining the class the month of January, and then in February, we will open up total registration again for payments for those second semester classes. So if you have a student who's in government first semester and AP microeconomics second semester, at this time for this month of October, you're only going to be paying for that first semester class. So this is year-long classes and all of the first semester classes. That's who will be taking the payment for at this time. And then when we get into second semester, that will be all the second semester classes. That's only the government, the microeconomics, and the macroeconomics.
And I assume parents can expect to get a similar message, right? Starting second semester, letting them know about the due dates.
Yes, we'll be going through the whole Skyward process where you'll be getting the mailing, the emails for payment, and that usually starts around February 1st. We might not be doing this lovely video show for you second semester, but you will be getting the information through the Skyward Message Center.
So yes, so the AP testing process, we're boiling it down in a quick half an hour, but it really is, if we're on top of things, it's really as simple as completing steps 1 and 2. And I read it. They have to be done in that order, so we're able to order a test. Now we'll be able to see what steps are not completed, and we can kind of work through, and we work with the teachers as well. If you have questions, particular questions like Ms. Kramer said about join codes, things of that nature, you need to address those with each individual teacher so they can help you on if a student didn't join the class, why was that? Or they didn't get the join code or something like this. So these would be maybe conversations you need to have with your students maybe tomorrow to say, hey, I was at this thing. Do you have your join code? Are we ready to go? And if we can, I'm ready to make the payment. All right, because it's two-step process. Like Ms. Kramer said, everybody is defaulted as undecided on the test till we get the payment, and then we're going to switch them over to yes. Okay. Now, some students will say, it hasn't changed to yes yet. It's not a binding thing. We will change them to yes every week or so. We're not doing it every day, but we'll batch change people to yes or no. And by the time ordering comes around on the 10th, we will have everybody we need in the yes column, because that's the only way we're going to be able to order tests. So if you see that maybe you pay on October 1st and then on October 2nd, you see that it's still undecided, don't worry about it. We are going to change them over from undecided to yes, yes to no, cancellation. So when you make these two steps, you really much should have peace of mind that you are finished with the process. Okay. I will I will say what will happen is with the total registration is, as I said, we have a processing list of all the students who are taking the AP test. We're going to continue to be sending this information out up to the November 10th. So if you're getting constant emails saying, hey, total registration is still open and pay, if you've already done it, please ignore it. These are just reminder emails. They're not specific to you. They're specific to the group of 780. So if you've made a process and you're continuing to get emails from us or information saying, hey, please do these steps, and you've done them, just ignore it. Okay, because we're going to be continuing to sending out these reminder emails all the way up till we get to the ordering deadline. All right. So your status will change. If you do these two steps, it guarantees that when Mrs. Kramer and I are going to put it together, we can order these tests and we can do it on the 15th. So again, check your emails. So 2 steps. Check your emails. If you've completed the process, then you can ignore our emails if you've already checked the process. But it's a 2-step process. Once we complete it, we are ready to go here then.
So once you've done that, we do sometimes have students that cancel the exam. So exams are not mandatory. District 230 does not require all AP students to take the AP exam. It is optional. The exam fee is $96. So whether it's a year-long class or a semester class, it's an exam fee, and there's only one exam for each AP class, and that would be the $96. So if you do need to cancel an exam, again, unlike last year, AP will be charging a $40 canceled unused exam fee. So you will not get your full refund for your exam as you did last year. If the student does not take the exam, the AP exam, after it's been registered and paid for, then College Board will charge $40 to cancel the exam, or for any exams that we send back that are not used. And then I'm giving it right back to Mr. Tadlow.
On a piggyback, if you have to cancel a test, you can do that through total registration as well. Because what we'll do is it'll just, if it's on a credit card, it just charge back the remaining fee. So you can make that change through the total registration system as well. So use total registration for any payments or cancellations. All right. Last thing, and it's going to take a little, I want to talk about this because this is coming up in May and we're in October right now. Okay. So test schedule. test schedule is important, and you can set your watch to the test schedule. This test schedule is not going to change. It is set again by AP, and it's set by AP across the country. So this is across the country how the testing is going to go through May 2nd to May 13th. Okay. And I want to highlight a couple points about this that we need to remember once we come up to this May testing window. Again, the exam schedule is set by College Board, and the testing will go from May 2nd to May 13th, okay? As we get closer to that date, specific test information about reporting times and locations will be shared with students in April. We put up big posters. They're all over the building. We post it when the tests are, and I'll go through and talk about morning, afternoon sessions, time, rooms. It's all going to be up. We make it very accessible. The teachers will be telling the students as they're coming through, and the tests are getting closer when it is going to be. But it is in that May 2nd to May 13th window, which is a Monday through Friday and a Monday through Friday on the second week. All right. I'm going to talk about this. All students are expected to take the exams during the time. This is important. I know this is September 30th, but we got to remember to May 2nd through May 13th, you have to take the test on those specific times. We don't have a plethora of makeup days and things of that nature, but when we show the test schedule, I'll talk a little bit more what I mean about that. This is something that we get, and we're usually out of the office. Test scores are available in July via the student's College Board account. So you need to keep that College Board password in that, and that we do not get, Ms. Kramer and I do not get individual test scores and things of that nature. It's going to be uploaded into their College Board account in July once they're finished with all the testing and College Board goes through. So the test schedule is very important. It's 7 months away or 8 months away, but it's very important. So we can put up that next slide on how the test schedule is going to look for us here. So this will be week one. And I just want to, if you want to take a look at this, I would take a look at the class your son or daughter is in and take a look on when this is going to happen. Because like I said, you can set your watch to this. This is like taxes. It's happening on these days. But a couple points. When we say morning, okay, traditionally, morning means it's going to start before 8 o'clock, okay? And they set two times. So a morning time is traditionally 8 o'clock start. Afternoon time is 12 o'clock start. Each test has its own timing mechanism. These are not all 3-hour tests or 2-hour tests or 2.5 hours. So a morning means even though the test starts at 8, we're probably going to need you here well before 8 o'clock. Okay. Afternoon. This is a key one here. Afternoon traditionally starts at 12. We have some tests that run with instructions and everything 3.5, 4 hours. So that puts the student now past 3 o'clock. Okay. So that's a critical thing for people involved in activities, sports, other things. So there are very few exceptions College Board is going to give us for you're allowing to miss a test. You can't get up at 3:10 and say I'm done and we have 40 minutes to go because we have a softball game or sporting event. That everyone sits for the test, everyone leaves for the test at the same time. So the afternoon, there are tests that run to 3:30, 4 o'clock. So you need to be cognizant of these times when you're scheduling appointments or your children are in activities or your children are in sports because they're not going to be able to get up and take off until the test is completed. So that is the first day. First week, you see most of them, we give a morning and an afternoon test. And then here's the second week schedule. It lightens up a little bit for us. So it's pretty much the first week is the majority of the tests. And then the second week, we only give them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But again, Same principle applies. If you look at these days, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to go 2 minutes on this. May 2nd to May 12th, a lot happens. Sports, IHSA events, SWSC, senior ditch days. These aren't, I mean, senior whatever days. I mean, there's a lot that comes up, and kids are coming in saying, I can't take the test, but you got to be able to work through this here to make sure that you're not putting anything on these days, because College Board gives us very limited wiggle room to change a test or to allow the test to be taken at a different time. Okay, so I know it's 7 months out or 8 months out, but we'll remind everybody in an email that the testing schedule is set in stone, and we really need to be cognizant of timing and what is happening on the school calendar as well. So I hate to really go on that, but I mean, it's an important thing, and we never have a chance to get to the parents and tell them, the philosophy of College Board and their scheduling of the tests and that. All right, so that's going to end that point. And I think that is our last slide here.
I know we have some questions that have come up in the Q&A in the chat. So there was a question about students who are in first semester classes that will end in December. Yes, the test is in May. And so what happens is the teachers that were in that first semester, teaching that first semester class, they do a lot of review sessions to get the students ready for the test in May. So those students will be contacted by the teacher about when those review sessions are, and they will go through and kind of refresh everybody's memory of what they learned first semester.
There's the week 2.
See some other questions that we had. Most colleges will give AP credit depending on the score. Typically, to earn the credit, you would need to get a 3 or better. AP scoring is 0 through 5. Students typically need to have a 3 or better in order to get college credit, but it really does vary from school to school, from college to college. And so you really need to be checking with those colleges to see what kind of AP credit those students would be able to get. Let's see. Students take an AP test of the same subject more than one time, not in the same year. AP does allow students to take the test again, but it does have to be in the next testing cycle, which would be the year later.
There's a question about AP. We're talking about the advanced placement testing. I think there was a question up there. And then it was to show the week 1 screen again as well.
Right, and AP exams are only offered once a year during that 2-week testing cycle, and they have the specific dates that those are. And you will be getting all the information for payment through total registration through the Skyward Message Center. Students will enter the join codes. There was a question, when do we enter the join codes? Students will be entering the join codes in their College Board account. So students, like I said, most of students have already done that in their class. Some students are still going through that process with the teachers, but typically that's been done in the classroom with the AP teacher.
You get the question about we pay now, but they all take the test in May. That is correct.
Yes.
You pay now and all the testing is May. There is no December testing. All the testing is done in those 2 weeks from May 2nd to the 13th or 14th there.
Right. Looks like some questions were answered. Yeah, I think we are pretty good. So the AP test is an exam that's given after the AP classes, where students, after they've put in all this hard work in these AP classes, would be able to potentially earn college credit.
We have a question about not seeing the U.S. history class as of yet through the AP College Board account.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. We can check with the College Board account and make sure that our U.S. history classes are there.
On the College Board account or the total registration?
Must be College Board because total registration isn't open yet.
Right.
Yeah, they should all be listed there, but I will double check on that. If a student wanted to take the test a second time, would they just study for it on their own? Yes, they would do that on their own. How many tests are there? Well, there's one test for each AP class. So depending on what AP classes we're offering, you know, it can vary from year to year, but the test schedule that you saw, those will be the tests that we will be giving.
Yeah, and then the question about join code, you have to join for each individual class. So if your son or daughter taking multiple classes, they will have a different join code for each individual class. Like you'll have one for U.S. history, you'll have one for English, you might have one for environmental science. So it's not one universal join code, it's a join code for each individual class. Each individual teacher as well.
And if you have any more questions, don't hesitate to contact either John Tadla or myself. We can, you know, answer your questions individually. Email is typically better, but whatever kind of works for you, phone or email.
Right. So if we have questions about this, if we have questions about join codes and particular AP curricular questions, those would go to the teachers, but we will be handling, we can handle questions on the testing schedule and things of that nature. Is USSC test on the same day? No. Yes, European history and US history is on the same day.
So we can follow up by sending the slides or putting the slides into a cohesive document and sending it out to this listserv crew, as well as the contact information for the three of us. All right. Well, thank you so much to Mr. Tadla and Ms. Kramer for hosting our first AP Parent Night. I hope that this has been helpful and informative. And as Mr. Tadla said, check out your Skyward Message Center, of course, and look for those emails regarding total registration in the near future. All right. Thank you all so much.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good evening.
Bye.